Hello, guys. It's Brenda Douglas. And listen, I want to talk to you guys who are considering selling your home in this high interest market. Now, let me first start by saying that right now in Prince George's County, Maryland, it is a seller's market, right? So, what that means is that the demand exceeds the supply. In other words, there are more buyers out there looking than there is inventory, than there is housing inventory or houses for sale, right? So what happens is buyers are competing because there are more buyers than inventory, right? And so what happens also is that homes sell quickly. Now the problem is that the interest rate is are high, right? And yes, interest rates change on a daily basis. They change every day, right? But right now they're up to about 7%, right? Again, that could be different tomorrow. They change every day, right? And so what happens is that scares some buyers away. Why? Because higher interest rates could mean higher mortgage payments, right? Now, there are some things that the buyer can do to lower that interest rate, and I mentioned that in the other video. But there are some things that the buyer can do to lower that interest rate. But in the meantime, right now, the interest rates are high, and so that scares some buyers, right? Listen, as a seller, as a person who is selling your home, only you can decide when the time is right. That's so funny. You can see the TV light. Oh, well. Anyway, only you can decide when the time is right to sell your home, right? Um, but let me just say that you would have to, first and foremost, pay off items, the mortgage, the remaining balance of the mortgage, right? If you have a second mortgage that's created by maybe a home equity loan or perhaps a home buying program, some home buying assistance programs creates or triggers a second mortgage, right? And that needs to be paid when you go to sell the home, right? So the point is that that needs to be paid off first and foremost. Let me just say, right? The other thing is, so then the question is again, how can you sell and get the most money for your home doing in this high interest rate when the rates are this high, right? Although it is a seller's market, right? First and foremost, this is always what you're going to hear: price it right. Price the home right. Now, if you're curious about what your home is valued at in today's market, you can go onto my website at www.50home 50 plus home team. I'm sorry, I done got home and got relaxed, right? www.50plushometeam.com, and you can put in your address and find out an estimate of what your home will be valued at in today's market. That's one way to do it. Or you can ask the agent to do it. Okay. Now, the other thing you can do to sell quickly and to have the buyer overlook these high interest rates is you want to impress the buyer, right? Think of when you're dating someone or when you're in a courtship, right? You do your very best to impress the person, right? And a lot of times you only get one chance to make a great first impression, right? So you want to make sure that the pictures are on point. You want to make sure that you do your part to help this home be shown from a great light, right? In other words, you want to clean it, you want to declutter, get rid of stuff, start packing stuff away, right? Have a packing barbecue, invite the family over, and go ahead and get ready. Because listen, you have to emotionally detach from the home anyway, right? When you purchase the home, it is your home, right? But when you put a house on the market, it is no longer, I don't want to say it's no longer your house, but you have to begin to detach, and it becomes a house or a property and not your home anymore, right? It needs to be someone else's home so that they can move in and make it their own and fall in love and create their own memories, right? So you want to do your part in helping your home to entice the buyer, right? You want to show proof of care, right? So what that means is that some of you are, you take meticulous notes, and you keep meticulous records, right? Anything that will help that house shine bright. And what I mean by that is, show that it's been well taken care of, right? So some of you have maintenance logbooks. Some of you have receipts, like if you had your roof done, or maybe the water heater replaced, right? And you still have the receipts. Go ahead and show that stuff off. Show it off, right? So that the buyer will know that they can buy and not have to worry about those things down the line, right? So show proof of care, right? Listen, the more you show, that the house is taken care of, whether you're cleaning it, decluttering it, whether you are showing your receipts or your care. I call it show proof of care. Whether you're doing that, listen, that shows the buyer that you really took care of the house. Have you ever been driving along and you see a house that's really, really run down? It really makes you feel kind of scared about walking in, right? It makes you think that the home has not been taken care of, right? And so everybody wants value. Everybody's looking for value, and they should, right? So you want to show proof of care, show receipts, or anything that will show that, impress the buyers, right? Right, you want to court the buyers, right? You want to create that warm fuzzy feeling that people, sometimes people, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my nose. Sometimes people walk into a home, right, and they just know it feels like home, right? So you want to take part in that. Like you want to influence that, right? You want to entice the buyer to buy your home, right? Right? You want to let the home court the buyer. God dang it, my nose keep itching. I'm sorry. You want to, and I need to take probably my sinus medicine, allergy medicine. That's what that is. So anyway, you want the home to court the buyer, right? When you think about a relationship, you creating bonding moments during the you're creating bonding moments during the courtship period, right? So you're spending a lot of time together, so you don't want to block the buyer from being able to see and get into the property, right? Let the buyer spend as much time in the property so that they can fall in love with the property, right? You want to clear it out so that they can imagine what it would be like for their items to be in this space, right? So you want to create moments for them, whether it be, again, depersonalizing the space, cleaning the space out. Depersonalizing is the biggest thing. You want to neutralize everything, okay, from the wallpaper to the furniture, to the collectibles, to the memories. You want to depersonalize the space. I'm doing a video about that, right? Because that is very, very important. Sometimes if you have too much stuff in the house, it's hard for the buyer to walk in and see their items in the space, right? So you want to clear it out so that they can imagine what it's like for their bed to be in this space, what it's like for their sofa and the color of their sofa to be in this space, right? So again, you want to entice the buyer, okay? And you want to display, I don't know what is going on with my nose. Let me hurry up and finish this video. You want to display prominent features of the home. And what do I mean by that? Every home has like a feature, whether it be large picture windows, whether it be a closet, a nice size closet, whether it be, some people like open floor plans, some people like closed spaces, right? Whatever whatever that property, whatever the features are in that property. And you might want to think about, what enticed you or what drew you to the property, right? Because more than likely the next buyer will fall in love with that same thing. So if it is the window, then leave the window open, let the natural light in, right? If it is the closet, you want to make sure that that is displayed. If you have a system put into the closet, leave it open, let them see what it is, right? Also, guys, you want to You want to get rid of any distractions. You know, when you're dating someone, when you're courting someone, you don't like to be distracted, right? You're with your boo and somebody calls and you're like, okay, you see the call and you either you don't answer it or you pick it up and you're like, hey, I'm with them right now, right? You don't want any distractions. The same thing applies to when you're trying to court the buyer to buy this home, right? Get rid of the pet stuff, hide it away. Also, listen, appeal to the five senses. I'm working on that video right now. You want to appeal to the five senses of a buyer, right? So if you have pets, if you have anything that causes odor, anything, dirty laundry, whatever, you want to appeal to the five senses: smell, touch, hear, see, and I forget what the touch is the other one. Okay, you want to appeal to the five senses, and I'm working on that video now. The point is, you as the seller have to do your part to get this home sold, right, for the most money possible. Now, yes, you can surely sell your house, right, and there are investors who will pay you less. Sorry, investors. There are investors who will pay you less so that they can beautify the home and appeal to the senses and entice the buyer, right? So that they can get the most money possible, right? But you do it yourself, right? Do it yourself. Okay, so guys, I hope that this has been helpful. Listen, let me tell you, you may meet with an agent and you may decide that now is not the time to sell your house, and that is fine. The agent is able to do a estimated net proceeds sheet. They are able to do a market analysis so that you can get a feel or an estimate of what your home would sell for in today's market, right? So you have access to those tools when you contact a real estate agent, right? So guys, give me a call, 202-930-DIVA, okay? Or you can go on my website and you can do your CMA yourself, or actually do a find out your property value on my website, www.50plushometeam.com, and that plus is spelled out, 50plushometeam.com, and you can find out what the value of your home is now. That'll give you some idea, you know what I mean? But then also keep in mind that there are other fees that apply, right? That will be deducted, including the taxes and things of that nature. So, all right, guys. So remember that you have the power. You as the seller, regardless of what the interest rates are, you can appeal to and entice the buyer, and you can get top dollar for your home. But you have to be willing to show forth the best light of your home, right? Guys, I hope that was helpful. I have talked to you later. I'm just sitting here enjoying myself. I just ate my Popeyes and I'm relaxed. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Thank you.